Today we got a request to review Tails and Claws. So I love this website. I think this is an amazing store. I think you've got a lot of things right. So to do a review, I'm going to be a little bit nitpicky to try and see if we can work out any of the tiny minor kinks you have going on. So first off, let's do the basics. So you have a favicon, which is great. That being said, I'd probably recommend using a PNG image instead of this. It looks like a JPEG because it's got the white outline around it. I mean, if the background of my tab was white, it would fade in nicely. But since my tabs are black, it's very obvious that this is a square. Whereas if you just had the orange paw print, that would be better. Looking at the bottom of your site, you still do have the Powered by Shopify, and you also have Designed by Out of the Sandbox because this is a paid theme. So it's fairly easy to get rid of the Powered by Shopify. However, because this is a paid theme and it's custom, you might have to do some coding if you wanted to remove the Designed by Out of the Sandbox. So definitely take a look at that. Don't if you're not comfortable with the code, don't mess with it. But it is very easy to get rid of the Powered by Shopify. Looking at your footer here, I really do like it. Things are well organized. That being said, you can improve upon it a little bit. What I'd recommend putting this title at the top of the R story. You could probably just omit the R story there, and that'll free up a little bit of space to put a newsletter sign up at the footer of your store. I mean, I see that it's here, and I see that there is a little tab in order to do the subscribe, but it's not very obvious especially when you're on a product page, because on a product page, this doesn't exist, and it's not super obvious that this is a newsletter sign up. So that can definitely assist you there. So looking at your header, I love that there's conversions between different currencies. I love how in your dropdown it's very obvious as to what everything is. You're fine keeping the track order and FAQs up there. You don't need to have them up there, but it's definitely good. Like tracking your order, that builds a lot of confidence in your customers. Looking at your products, it seems like there is very few within each collection. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you might want to add some more product to your store so that you have more options. So that, for example, if people don't like the pet dog cave or the ultra soft dog bed, there's a couple other options there. I mean, you don't need to go crazy, and I wouldn't recommend just throwing in product for the sake of throwing in product because it seems like you actually care a lot about what your store is about, which is great. One thing I've noticed, at least with this one product here, is that you don't have your color swatches filled in. Unlike this other product here, the pet dog cave, you do have the different swatches so that people know what's what. So definitely go into this product and check your other products too, just to make sure they do have the different swatches for the different color options. One other thing that I've noticed is that with this theme, there is a lot of blank space. Like this image here is getting stretched all the way to the bottom, and there's just so much blank space here that it would make sense to have these other images in this blank space, and then that brings everything up closer. Then you'll have your customer reviews right underneath here, which would be great. That being said, it is a custom theme, so I can't tell you exactly how to go about that. But it definitely is a possibility to do. It's great that you've got customer reviews because that definitely encourages confidence and trust in your brand. It's also nice that they are not all 5-star reviews because that can actually decrease trust and decrease loyalty from customers just because it seems a little bit fishy that all your product reviews would be 100% positive. So that's great, and it's great that customers are actually posting images of their pets wearing your product. I think it's great. Looking at your product description here, I do find it relatively long before you can actually get to the choosing your color, size, quantity, and then adding it to the cart. You want to make it as easy and quick as possible for customers to be able to add a product to their cart and go to checkout. If possible, it would be awesome to put the description below that or in between. I've also noticed that for some reason, the font size of your descriptions is very large compared to all the other fonts on your site. So, all the different navigation, everything. It's just very large and it takes up a lot of space. So I would say, if you can't move those down, try and reduce the font, maybe remove some of these or compress them. You want to make it as easy and quick as possible for people to actually add this to their cart. So let's take a look at your website SEO. So for your homepage here, we have an image, which is great, and we have the title of your store, which is awesome. However, there is no description, and that is going to hinder you getting traffic. So for your description, there's three things you want to do, or three things that are important: keywords, length, and comprehension. So this is the SEO is your way of telling Google what you're about, and it will help direct the correct traffic towards your site, because you can get tons of traffic, but if it's not people looking for pet accessories, then they're just going to go somewhere else. So in terms of the first thing, keywords. So you want to include what you're about in terms of things like pet supplies, um, you know, uh, accessories, things of that nature. So you want to make sure that, for example, if you were searching or trying to search for your type of products online, what would you type into Google? And that's what you want to put into your description. Second thing, characters. So, or second thing, length, I should say. And you want to keep your description around 100 characters. After that, Google starts to put less emphasis on the importance of the description that you put in there. So you want to just compress as many keywords in there as possible that actually describe your store. Third thing is comprehension. This has to make sense to the common person. If I just enter a whole bunch of random keywords in here, um, you know, it's like, oh, that's great, but when you search it on Google, it's not going to make sense, and you'll just have like keyword, 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 and people aren't going to go to your site because they're like, okay, this seems suspicious to me. Taking a look at one of your product SEOs, it's it's a similar sort of situation. The title is fine, but the description is not up to par. So on your product pages, you can scroll down to the bottom and edit your website or your product SEO. And you want to do that same sort of thing as your homepage, except you want to do that for each of your products. Also, backtracking for a second here, to edit your homepage SEO, you should go to online store preferences, and there it will have the option for you to add the description for your homepage. So there you go. This looks really great. There's tons of potential here. You just update that SEO and those other couple things. Make sure that you submit your sitemap to Google, and make sure that you get Google Analytics built into your online store. There's a lot of support documentation in order to tell you how to do that. But I think you have great potential here. So hope that helps you out, and I'll catch you next time.